If you're using MLSImport to bring listings into WordPress, the key is choosing what comes in and how it gets organized on your site. Do you want your website to show listings only in the areas you actually serve? In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the MLSImport plugin to create location-based import tasks, so you pull listings only from the cities and areas you choose. We'll go through every option: city, county, postal code, subdivision, and MLS Major area, so you can build clean, focused pages with your theme. And we'll set it up in a way that stays organized long-term, so your tasks don't overlap and your listings show up exactly where you expect. There's also one small detail most people miss that makes troubleshooting a lot easier. Near the end, I'll show you how to tell when your hourly sync actually ran and what that date really means inside the import tasks screen. First, a quick overview. An import task is one saved set of rules. It decides which listings get imported into your website. Each listing can only be imported once. If a listing is already imported by one task, a second task cannot import that same listing again, even if it is found by the task. The goal is to filter by location in a way that avoids overlap. Now, if you want a full walkthrough of every field inside an import task, line by line, check the video linked in the description. Today we stay focused on location filters and the planning rule behind them. Next, let's create import tasks. On your WordPress dashboard, go to MLSImport, then Import Tasks. You should see the list of your active tasks. Now click Add New to add a new task. Set the listing's title format. Below you'll notice a section with filters. This is where location-based tasks are built. Before we save anything, one quick overview about location details. When you create a location-based task, you're not just limiting what comes in. In the compatible themes, location details are part of how your site organizes properties after import. Cities, counties, and subdivisions are usually saved as property categories, so your site can use them to build location pages and location-based search. The mapping for these fields is already set by default for each compatible theme: WP Residence, Houses, and Real Homes. That's what gives you Zillow-style browsing pages, and it's also what powers search by location, which most real estate websites need. Now let's start with the most common option: city. Find the city filter. If your city list is auto-populated, you can select cities from the drop-down. Pick the first city you want to cover. Then add a second city if this task is meant to handle more than one. Use Control on Windows or Command on Mac to select multiple options. Try not to select too many cities at once. In some situations, a very long query can return 0 or none results even if listings exist. Now, if cities do not show up in the drop-down, that usually means your API feed is not providing city values in a way the plugin can read for suggestions. In that case, you can add cities manually. Click into the field and type the city name exactly as it appears in your EMLS feed. If you want to add more than one city, separate them with a comma. The important part is matching the feed value exactly, including spelling and spacing. If you're not sure how the city is written in your feed, open one listing in your MLS source. Find the city value there and copy it exactly. Once your city values are in, save your selections. Now you can start the import. After the listings come in, you'll see that city value saved in your site as a taxonomy term, so it becomes usable beyond the import itself. That means you can click that city in your location terms, and you'll see all properties from that city grouped together. And that same city data can also be used in location-based lists and in your search by location, so visitors can browse and filter the way they expect. Now let's talk about counties. This one usually works the same way. You can select multiple options if they are available, and you can also enter them manually if needed. Again, the rule is simple: match the feed values exactly. If you want listings from a single postal area, add that postal code here, one code per import task. Subdivision is especially useful when your website is built around specific communities, gated neighborhoods, or developments. In the filters, add the subdivision name manually, again matching its value exactly. Subdivision is mapped to the property area taxonomy in compatible themes because it naturally groups listings into named areas. That makes it easier to build community pages and area pages in a Zillow-style structure. Now the last location filter in the title is MLS Area Major. If you use it, here's the simple approach. Add one MLS Major area value from the feed, save the task, and then confirm the imported listings match what you expected. Now, let's come back to the big planning point. Import tasks should not overlap. Once your location is set, you can make the page even more focused by filtering property types. In the same task, go to the property type filters. Here you can choose to import only commercial, only residential, or specific types from your MLS feed. For example, if you want only luxury condos for one city, set the city filter, then set a minimum price and select condos. The more filters you add, the more specific the task becomes. Now, before we end, here's the troubleshooting detail I mentioned earlier. To keep your listings updated automatically, you want sync enabled on your import task. Enable sync for this task, then save the task. Once sync is on, MLSImport stops being a one-time import tool and starts acting like a live connection. Every hour, the sync process checks your MLS API feed for changes that happened since the last run. It looks for things like price updates, status changes, description edits, and any other fields that changed in the MLS. Then it applies those same changes to the listings that were imported by this task. So if a listing drops in price in the MLS, your website updates it. If a listing changes from active to pending, your website updates it. If a listing gets removed from the feed or no longer matches your task rules, the task can also remove it from your site depending on your task delete statuses settings. Sync only updates the listings that have been imported by each specific task. So if you have multiple tasks, each task keeps its own set of listings in sync. In the next video, we'll go through other real-world import task scenarios, including the most useful filter combinations beyond location. Subscribe to stay tuned for that one, and you'll be able to plan tasks for different website goals with a lot more confidence.